So guys, we're finally here. First YouTube video is coming and we start with this. We have a transplant. I thought I'd show you step by step what I do and how I go about the grow. I didn't do the germination video, I didn't upload it yet, I actually did it. And I will upload that one. And today we're gonna do the transplant, so you can see when I transplant, why I transplant, and those kind of things. Step by step guide for everything. You will see a library of videos that guide you basically through the whole grow. Today we have the orbital banana F1, which is ready for transplant. As you can see, I removed a lot of leaves here. I removed basically all the big fan leaves of it. That's why it looks so skinny. But the stem is super thick and I see the roots are coming out at the bottom already, so this one needs a bigger pot. These pots are pretty small and for the first few weeks of veg I can use them, but then later we need to transplant. And that's what we're gonna do today with this one. What I'm gonna use, my go-to transplant mycorrhiza is from Green Eden. Green Eden EndoBoost Hydro. It has literally everything in it that the roots could need to grow stronger and be better. So this is what we're going to use. Using the new gloves from Royal Queen Seeds, because why not? And we're going to transplant into these 19 liters fabric pots. 19 liters on the label, but they actually take more, as you will see. And what we're going to do as well, we're going to use soil from Sonnenerde, and normally you would use the hemp soil, but in my case I'm using the black soil because I tried it in pots and I liked it a lot actually. And this is basically Terra Preta. If you want to read up Terra Preta, what it does, what it is and how it works, feel free to do it. This is basically mimicking Terra Preta, which is a self-feeding system. So this soil, the black soil, is actually recommended for outdoor use. You mix it with mother soil and then over time it becomes black soil and you don't need any fertilizers. You can just grow straight into that. I'm going to use it in pots, even it's not recommended, but I tried it and it worked really great. The only thing I'm going to add is one more thing that I'm going to show you now, which I think will help it to be a bit more loose, because the soil, when you water it in pots, it gets pretty dense, you know, and I want to have it a bit more loose. Okay guys, let's go. We have the soil here. I'm gonna prepare the pot first, like this. Remove the label and get this ready. I'm gonna try, I think I will add around maybe 30%, 20% vermiculite, something like that. We'll eyeball it more or less. I used to measure it properly to see how much I exactly used when I experimented with vermiculite first, but I realized that as long as you don't use half vermiculite, everything is going to be okay. So maybe 20 to 30% helps with holding water and making the soil more fluffy, which this soil doesn't really need. And we're going to do it. Before we get going here, I'm going to put on the gloves and we start filling the pot. I'm gonna layer it. I'm gonna put a bit first, then I'm gonna add some vermiculite, and then I'm gonna add some more soil. Try to mix it nicely. We got the black soil, so we put it in there. That should do for now. And now we're gonna add the vermiculite. Normally, we'll see how this one is, because normally you should wear a mask because the stuff is flying around everywhere. Let's see how this one looks. This one actually looks quite nice. It's not as dusty as I'm used to. We got a layer here, about 5 centimeters of soil. I'm gonna add some vermiculite here. I'll get this a bit closer. Now we're gonna go in with some more soil here. I had quite a lot of vermiculite here, so we need to add some more soil. Invert it back. Another thing about black soil, it's extremely heavy. Anyone who ordered the soil from Sonnenerde before and got a delivery and took a 20-liter bag of that soil was like, oh my god. If you're used to soil like biobis and things like that, which is just peat and stuff, you're gonna feel the difference. This is real soil. Okay, this looks pretty good. Gonna add more vermiculite. And we continue with more soil. This is the easy stuff. It's only the heavy black soil that you have to lift. That's the hard stuff. Vermiculite is very light. The 100-liter bag that I have here weighs almost nothing. And more soil. There we go. Break it up, keep it loose, it will help you later on. Makes your life easier. Makes the roots' life easier because they can grow much easier. And we add some more vermiculite. Vermiculite is something that many people use for germination as well, because of its great water holding capacity. So it's staying moist, the seed can germinate, you don't have to worry about drying out. You can put the seeds in little starter plugs and you can just add a layer of vermiculite and it's gonna work great. One more layer here. And a bit more black soil. We have everything pretty much ready here. I'm gonna add a mulch layer on top, so I'm thinking that I'm done with this. And there should be enough room to put the plant inside. These pots are very deep. Oh my god, this soil is so heavy, it's crazy. So this will go in quite a bit actually. And we will make a hole where it goes. Make it deep enough and then we set it in. I'll show you that in a second. So here you can see how the whole thing looks now. And in here will go the plant. Just make a hole that fits the pot. And then we're gonna add the mycorrhiza and everything goes inside. So now we got it ready. We got our soil mixed with the vermiculite, which you don't have to use. Like I said, I'm experimenting this time because I used to have vermiculite in all my soil mixes and I was always very happy with the result, especially water holding. I have to mention, because I'm using the black soil from Sonnenerde and the hemp soil as well, they hold water extremely well. So compared to any other normal soil, they hold water much longer and in a really good way. Like the plant is not overwatered if you do it right, and they don't dry out as fast. So I'm just adding this to try new things, you know? Because no one is adding anything, I'm gonna add something. We're gonna see if we can fit this in here. Actually, I use these pots and I don't really like them because they're so tall and narrow. But that's what I had, so take the label out here, put it straight back in so there's no mix up with any other plants. I'm gonna pull a bit on the stem and lean it. And we're gonna see what's coming out of here. Oh, there we go. Actually, I watered these today, so they're pretty wet, which is not ideal for transplanting, but it has to be done. So here you can see the roots. They were reaching the bottom already. In this corner you can see it, I think, pretty clear on the camera. The corners were maxed out here as well. But healthy root development. Now, endo boost. This stuff is just amazing. That's why I never changed the brand. I tried the mainstream brands that you know for mycorrhizal powder, but this is the one I always use. And I just sprinkle it here on the roots from all the sides a bit. This side as well. And you don't need as much as I put, but I just want to make sure to cover everything nice. And twist it around here. That looks good. We got one more side here. I'm gonna cover that. Ui, that was too much. But straight into the planting hole, so that's perfect. We surely have enough mycorrhiza, I can tell you that. So we go in here, go into the hole. I break up the top a bit to make it easier to blend in with the new soil. Add it from the side, and like I said, this will be mulched from the top. So the gap I have to the top rim is actually perfect, because that gives me at least 2 centimeters of mulch at the top. I don't know what I'm going to use yet. I recommend the biofibers from Sonnenerde, but I don't have any. Tim, please send me some. And that's pretty much it. Equal out the soil at the top a bit, like this, give it a bit of a press. And now you have an extremely heavy pot. This must be, I don't know how many kilos, that's crazy. The black soil is so dense and so heavy. And that's it. I check the bottom if you can make this a bit nicer. Yes, this looks good. There you go. I'm going to show you a close-up of this, and that's pretty much it. The reason I transplant now is the pots are maxed out, the plant has a few weeks of growth, and I think it's time to give it a new home. The thing is, when do you transplant? When should you transplant? I like to start in small pots. It makes life so much easier. You can have them in small pots, you can have many plants, and if you're selecting different phenos, you can choose the one that looks nicer to you, and then go into the main pot. So when you transplant is up to you, but give them at least 2 or 3 weeks to make some roots and start growing, and there's no reason to transplant them when they have the first pair of leaves, because then you might as well go straight into the final pot. This is it. We're done with the transplant. I'll show you a close-up. And that's how simple it is. You can do that. Everyone can do that. You can do this with cucumbers, you can do this with tomatoes, with pepper plants, with aubergine plants. Any vegetable I start, any plant in general that I start them in small pots. There's only a few like auto-flowering strains, I go straight into the main pot. But with anything else, I started in small pots. You can have a bigger variety, and then you go into the final pot, if you grow in pots. For vegetables, if you have them out in the garden, same thing, start them in small pots and later into the soil, into the final spot that they will be. And this is it. I'm throwing the pot on the floor. And here we go. Transplant is done. Plant is ready to grow big and strong. And that is pretty much it. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Please subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. We try to fight the algorithm because we're getting, for sure, some negative feedback because of the plants we're using. I'm going to show you many videos about different things. This was transplanting. The next one I upload will be germinating. There's many ways to germinate seeds. You can choose different methods, different products, whatever you want. And we go like this step by step. When this one grows up, I will show you the training, I will show you the defoliation, how I remove the leaves here and there, why I remove the fan leaves the way I do, because you can see the lower branches get much more light exposure. If they're covered by fan leaves, they get much less light exposure. And I want an equal shape. For me, that is mainly important because of the pictures that I take, because for me, the shape of the plant is more about the picture I take. It's not so much about harvest or anything, but because for me that part is completely irrelevant. And that's pretty much it. We go into details on different topics. We go along with the plants. I show you different content. You let me know in the comments if you want to see a specific video on something. Just let me know, we can do it. And here we have it, what we did today. We transplanted one. We got heavy soil here, really heavy soil. We added some vermiculite, which you can add to any soil. It just helps to keep water and aerate the soil a bit. And that's pretty much it. So I see you in the next one. Please let me know in the comments below what kind of content you want to see, what videos or questions you have, and we can make something happen with that. So see you next time.